Hello, my beautiful beard growing friends. So today we're going to talk about the 5 things that I think teenagers should know about growing a beard. So here's my top tips for growing a beard as a teenager. If you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe and hit that bell notification. I'm going to talk about beards, beard advice, beard tips, beard products. I may even do a sneaky review. So please remember to subscribe so I can share that all with you. Okay, let's talk about the beard advice for teenagers. Okay, the first thing is set expectations as a teenager for what your beard should be doing, what it should look like at certain times. And the sort of patience you really need to have while growing a beard. So the first thing I want to talk about is that expectation. Now, puberty, when it hits, according to a UK study, it hits around about 12 for the majority of people. But the thing is that growing a beard doesn't happen until the later stages of puberty, which is about 17 or 18. You know, that's when it really comes into its own, starts connecting up. But that's not when the beard sort of like comes into its best form. We'll talk about that in a minute. But yeah, puberty has a number of stages. When it first hits, that's when you start to see a little bit of the shaking of the voice. You know, you start to see all of the downstairs stuff happening. But the beard and the facial features happens much later, which means about 17, probably 16, 17, 18, about there is when you'll start noticing your beard growing more efficiently, like darker, longer, thicker hair. But that doesn't mean that's the only beard you're gonna get. It just means that that's kind of the beginning stages of your beard growth, which is the later stages of puberty. So to break it down just quickly, during puberty, the testes produce the testes produce testosterone, and that is converted in the body to DHT, which stimulates the beard growth. And so that is really what you're waiting for, is enough of a DHT presence in the body to stimulate beard growth so it becomes thicker and darker and all that sort of stuff. No matter what age you are, growing a beard is all about patience and persistence. And so patchy beards are very common. Everyone has a patchy beard. I have patches here where there's better growth in some places than in the other. And it's all about just pushing through those moments. You know, the way you cover up patchiness or any sparse areas is by growing a much longer beard, and then you can move the hair to cover the patches. That makes sense. But of course, in the early stages of puberty, like a teenage sort of time, that growth takes much longer than, say, if you're about 25 and above. So that would be the first thing, is set the expectations, realize that it's the later stage of puberty where your beard really comes into its own, and just have a little bit of patience. I'm sorry, there's not much you can do. Let's talk about what you can do and about not acting too early. Okay, so when you start sort of growing a beard as a teenager, is you can feel like you need help, outside assistance from either minoxidil, and minoxidil is like a hair growing chemical which is found in Rogaine, used probably on the head. You can see I probably need it if I cared about that sort of thing. And so Rogaine can be used on the face with microneedling, which can encourage growth. Now the thing is, don't act early, right? We're talking about having patience. My biggest bit of advice for teenagers is don't get sucked in to the marketing and the kind of promises of these shitty products. Like, yes, it can help you if you've, particularly Rogaine or minoxidil, it can help you much later, but early on, really just have a little bit of patience. Same with something like red light therapy. That can help. It's scientifically proven, like minoxidil, but don't get sucked in early. That is something for you to consider in your early to mid-20s if you're not really happy with the growth of your beard and you want to kind of give it a boost. Mainly because, the reason I say this is because it's it's like full of different side effects. It's costly. Do you even have money to maintain that thing? You should be spending your money on investing in your future, on learning, on doing fun things with your friends, not on worrying about growing a beard if you can't, or if you're not happy with it. Just have a bit of patience and it will come through. And then also stay away completely from snake oil products, stuff that has no evidence that it works at all. I'm talking about beard growth oils, beard growth tablets, beard XL stuff. Like, they're only there, they only exist to separate you from your money. So please, as a teenager, I know the marketing is really strong and they've perfected the sell, but don't get sucked into these things early. Wait until your mid-20s to do the science-backed stuff, and never ever touch the beard growth oils or anything that isn't supported by science. If in doubt, speak to your doctor or leave a comment below in this video and I will help you work out the things that work from the snake oil. Okay, number 3 is all about sort of just knowing that your beard will grow from about 25 onwards. Now go check out my other video where I talk about the stages of beard growth. But the thing is early on, you're probably only going to see it on your mustache, maybe just on the sides, and some patches on the chin. Those are the areas normally where it comes in quicker, or it comes in first. And so, yeah, it's not really until past 25 that you really have any significant growth that's connected, that isn't patchy. My experience, at least, of that was that, the patchiness really sort of went away past about 25. But once again, go check out my other video for the sorts of things that you can expect on your beard growth journey and the age at which that happened. The one thing I want to talk about now are the 5 science-backed things that you can do to increase testosterone. Okay, so there are 5 things you can do that are science-backed to increase testosterone. Now, always with these sort of things, I have a disclaimer, which is essentially, just because you're increasing the amount of testosterone in the body, it doesn't mean that it's going to be converted into DHT, which is the chemical required to signal to the hairs on your face in certain areas, like your beard, for example, that they need to grow. So increasing testosterone doesn't necessarily result in the increase of DHT, but it can help. And so all of these things are lifestyle factors, which I think are just important anyway. Like, just enjoy looking after yourself. When you're young and early, it's great to sort of like put in those lifestyle factors that just means you're healthy, you're fit, and your body's in its best possible sort of position for growing a beard. So the first thing is there's some science to suggest that if you're overweight, that your body produces less testosterone. Okay, so if you are a little bit overweight, then it's probably time just to manage your diet and do a little bit of exercise. Now, you don't have to be Superman to grow a beard, right? But having a healthy body will absolutely help that. And so losing a little bit of weight, getting your body mass index into that kind of good area, that would be really good. So speak to your doctor about losing weight. And it's all about keeping it off, losing it slowly, keeping it off, and changing your lifestyle. And so that brings me on to the second point, which is diet. So there are some things like leafy greens, tuna, legumes that are really good at sort of increasing the amount of testosterone in the body. Once again, this is science-backed. For all of these sort of like references, go to beardgrowingpro.com. Type in teenagers or check out the links in the navigation bar, and you'll be directed to lots of articles about this with the science in it. So yeah, diet, eat well, stay away from junk food, stay away from greasy, salty, fatty things. Now my mouth is salivating because those are all the things that we love as humans, right? High calorie, high fat, high sugar, high salt stuff. But you really have to stay away from that if you want to give your body the best chance of growing a beard. Leafy greens, tuna, protein, and combined with our next thing, which is exercise. So high intensity exercise has been shown to increase testosterone in the body. And so, yeah, high intensity is, doing sort of short bursts of stuff at sort of a maximum effort. Once again, go to beardgrowingpro.com and type in teenagers. You'll see that I've got a lot of advice in there around, and I've also got a sample high intensity workout there. I may link that in the description below so you can see that. And it's about exercising the large muscle groups in your body to stimulate them and get this kind of blood pumping, and also that results in more testosterone in the body. So that one. Sleep is so very important, like teenagers in particular. There was something in the UK, and I think even, was it in Australia, about starting the day later for teenagers. Teenagers need a lot of sleep. It helps their body recover. Teenagers are growing, they're going through puberty. All of these things are really taxing on the body. And so when you're sleeping, you get a chance to repair that. So really get your sleep. I know it's really hard in today's sort of smartphone, ultra connected world, but just take a moment, get some sleep. Make sure you're getting 7 to 9 hours a night, maybe more. I slept for 11, I'm 35, I slept for 11 hours the other night and I felt amazing. And so doing that every so often is so important to rejuvenate your body and put it in the best place for increasing the amount of testosterone in your body. And the last thing I want to talk about in terms of these tips is all of this really is about reducing stress on the body. So as a teenager, it's a really stressful time. There's lots of issues, with school, with your career, with the future. But yeah, doing some mindfulness meditation, some Wim Hof method breathing I found really useful. But all of the stress that you build up during the day can affect you physically and mentally. And so making sure you get enough sleep, making sure you eat well, all of that builds into this, making sure your body is in the best position possible for growing a beard, having a good amount of testosterone floating around, which you can convert to DHT. All right, so those are the science-backed things. Once again, head over to Beard Growing Pro, type in teenagers into the search bar, and you will see all of these studies, as well as some actual actionable sort of exercise routines, things you can eat, recommendations from science that you can use to make sure your beard grows well, thick, and awesome. And the last thing I want to say is love your beard. Now, the teenage time is really mental. It's about social pressures, it's about internet, it's about the careers you're going to do, it's about your future. But ultimately, when you're growing a beard, you just have to love what it is for you. You have to love your beard, all of its quirks, all of its changes over time. And look, beards can get swept up into the kind of superficial because it's, a style thing. But you have to kind of separate yourself from that a little bit and grow the beard that you're happy with and you're confident with. When you talk about confidence and beards and beard advice and all of that stuff, what people find attractive, it isn't necessarily the beard, right? It's about the confidence of the person behind the beard that makes it attractive, that makes it a certain way, that makes people drawn to the beard. And being super confident, embracing what you have, not focusing on all the negatives, that is what makes a beard awesome and what makes it fun to grow and maintain and keep. So yeah, love the beard that you have. That is my ultimate bit of advice for this. If you take away one thing from this video, let it be that. Okay, if you're new to this channel, please remember to subscribe and hit that bell notification. That means a lot to me. Also, let me know in the comments, what bits of advice do you have for teenagers that want to grow a beard? So yes, thank you so much for watching. Remember to love your beard, and I shall see you in the next video.